Good morning, students. Today we will study about Indian Constitution. The basic political framework of a country is specified in the Constitution of the India. The Constitution specifies the functions, powers, responsibilities, and structure of all the units of the government, the legislature, the judiciary, the executives also regulates and the relation between the organs of the government and citizens. In this chapter, we will learn about need and concept of constitution and constitution assembly and the drafting committee and preamble of Indian constitution and special features of Indian constitution. So students, we going to talk about the need and concept of Indian constitution. Constitution is needed for properly ruling in the government and clearly defining the rules and functions of the legislature, judiciary and administration. So also for balance the government and coordination amongst them. In the absence of constitution, there is a strong possibility to conflict between the different organs and the government, and at the time even the situation of monarchy may be arise. यानी कि अगर जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन नहीं होगा तो मोनार्ची की संभावनाएं बढ़ जाएगी, गवर्नमेंट वर्क नहीं कर पाएगी और जो रूल्स और रेगुलेशंस कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में दिए वो नहीं हमें होंगे तो सब जगह अव्यवस्थाएं हो जाएगी, इसलिए कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन का होना काफ़ी ज़रूरी है. फंडामेंटल राइट्स एंड ड्यूटीज ऑफ सिटीजन्स आर ऑल्सो स्पेसिफाइड इन द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. इट कैन बी सेड द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन इज अ वेरी बेस ऑफ गवर्नमेंट. तो जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन है उसके बारे में क्या कहा गया है कि जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन इज एवरी बेस ऑफ गवर्नमेंट, यानी कि कोई भी गवर्नमेंट है उसका बेस कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन है. एंड वी कैन से इन सिंपल वर्ड्स बाय अ डेफिनेशन, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन मे बी अ सेट टू बी अ डॉक्यूमेंट विच contains law, rules and regulations for the proper governance of a country. यानी किसी भी कंट्री को प्रॉपर गवर्नेंस देने के लिए कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन की ज़रूरत होती है, जो कि एक सेट है, डॉक्यूमेंट है जिसमें लॉज, रूल्स, रेगुलेशंस और प्रॉपर इंस्ट्रक्शन दिए हुए हैं कि किस तरीके से कंट्री जो है वो वर्क करेगी. The makers of the constitution took useful provisions for constitution of several countries. The Directive Principles have been taken from the Constitution of Ireland. The idea of fundamental rights has been taken from the Constitution of United States of America. The concept of the federal form of government states is taken from Canadian Constitution. Now we talk about the formation of Constitution Assembly. The Indian Constitution have been drafted by a Constitution Assembly which was formed by the mutual consent of the leaders with the freedom movement administration. The basis of was Cabinet Mission Plan 1946. Cabinet Mission 1946. On the basis of the Cabinet Mission, suggestions members of Constitution Assembly was elected in July 1946. Indian political leaders had accepted the proposal of the Cabinet Mission. The country was administered on the basis of the Government of Indian Act 1935 during the period for formation of the Constitution to be. यानी कि जो इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बनने का जो अवधि है उस बीच में इंडिया का जो गवर्नमेंट है वो कैसे वर्क करेगा, इंडियन एक्ट 1935 के तहत जो है वो वर्क करेगा. द मेंबर्स ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन असेंबली वेर इलेक्टेड बाय द देन मेंबर्स ऑफ द प्रोविजनल असेंबली. द 292 members were form provisional assemblies. The number of members in the Constitutional Assembly was divided on the basis of the population, generally one member over a population of 10 lakh. The member of the Constitutional Assembly after the partition was 299. As members of the Muslim League don't participate in the meeting of the Constitutional Assembly. The demand for Constitutional Assembly was related with the national movement. The formation of Constitutional Assembly was the result of the Swaraj Bill prepared under the direction of Lokmanya Bal Gangadhar Tilak. In 1895, the statement of Mahatma Gandhi on 5 January 1922 that Indian Constitution shall be as per the wishes of the peoples of India, यानी कि जो महात्मा गांधी थे उन्होंने 5 जनवरी 1922 को ये संबोधित किया कि जो इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन है वो जनता की विशेष को ध्यान में रखकर बनाया जाएगा. The National Convention of February 1924 under the chairmanship of Tej Bahadur and the demanded in the Patna Convention of Swaraj Dal is May 1934. The members of the Constitutional Assembly could not be elected directly by the adult franchise, therefore as a political session and the provisional assemblies were utilized as election bodies. The prominent leaders accepted with the freedom movement like the Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, Pandit Rajendra Prasad, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad, Shyam Prasad Mukherjee, Sundar Singh, etc. played an important role in the Constitution Assembly and formation of Constitution. Now students, we talk about the Indian Constitution and Indian Committee. The Constitution of India. In history, we have read about how after the Second World War, Britain gave in to the Indian leaders demanded and agreed to grant India its independence. So the rule and policies had convinced our people that a free India should be based on the ideas of democracy, where all peoples were treated equally and participated in government. For these, our leaders needed to figure out how a democratic government was to be established and the rules it would have to added by. In December 1946, a Constitution Assembly was set up to draft Constitution of India. Around 300 members of the Assembly meet over the next 3 years to decide the features of the Constitution. Framing a constitution for such a diverse peoples was a too tough task. Added to these was the job of ensuring national unity, social, economic development and the democratic government. But the leaders must to draw up a document that convert all these goals. In November 1949, the drafting committee headed by the Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar finalized the constitution. The new constitution come into effect on January 26, 1950. Now students, we talk about the preamble of the constitution. In the preamble of the constitution, the framers of the constitutions have the objectives of the constitutions. So also views and ideas. This is called the essence and spirit of the constitution. It is the resolve, the feeling of the framers of the constitution. In the every beginning of the preamble, it has been influenced in that the constitutions has been framed as per the wishes of the people and the powers and in the India's people. It has been started that Indian shall be sovereign democratic public as per the 42 constitutional mandate in 1976. India was declared a socialist and secular state. To protect the unity of the country, it is duty to every citizen and not only of the state. Now students, we talk about the special features of constitution, यानी कि जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन है उसके अपने कुछ स्पेशल फीचर्स हैं, उसके बारे में हम डिस्कस करेंगे. देयर आर सम स्पेशल फीचर्स एंड इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशंस इज written and large document, and it is flexible, sovereign state and socialist and secular states, parliamentary form of government, federal form of the government, and independence and impartial judiciary, universal and franchise, directive principles of state policy, and etc. We understand these topics one by one. First of all, I take written and largest document. Indian Constitution is a written constitution which has been drafted by a Constitution Assembly. It is the largest constitution in the world. It has 395 articles, 12 schedules, and is divided into 22 parts, whereas there are 7 articles in the American Constitution and 147 articles in the Canadian and the 128 articles in the Australian Constitution. Now next is it is flexible. It is from like a flexibility, and the rapidly flexible on the basis of the amendment, यानी कि ये flexible है, इसमें परिवर्तन भी किए जा सकते हैं. यदि कोई नियम कानून या regulations ऐसे हैं जो समय के अनुसार परिवर्तन मांगते हैं तो उसका परिवर्तन भी संभव हो सकता है. Now talk about the sovereign state. The country will decide it on foreign policies. It is not under any foreign rule, and it can have its own policies of behavior and the international level. Now next is socialist and secular. By a socialist state, it is mean that the Indian economy shall be based on the socialist pattern of society. Minimum basis needs of every Indian shall be fulfilled. Secularism, socialism as per the Indian Constitution, it means that the state shall protect the interest of all religious beliefs that will not have any particular religion as state religion. The state shall not discriminate citizen on the basis of religion, caste, language, and every citizen to free to follow the religions and their beliefs. Now we talk about the parliamentary form of government. The Indian Constitution has accept parliamentary form of government. Under this system, the powers of the executives were in the control of ministers and the president in the head. The council of members follow the principles of coordination and responsibility. In case of vote of one candidate is passed in the parliament, the cabinet of ministers has to leave. Federal form of government. As per the first schedule of the Constitution, India is a federation of states. The powers of governor are not centralized at one place and are divided between the center and the state, are both have independence in their respective judiciary and judgments and conditions. The Supreme Court is the protector of the Constitution. Supreme Court has also powers to the constitutional provisions and decide constitutional space arising between the center and the state. Our next topic is independence and impartial judiciary. The judiciary is independent as has the power of constitution to be protected the fundamental rights of the citizens. The constitution have given powers to the judiciary to remove laws elected by the parliament and legislative assemblies and executive orders passed by the executives, and they declare such laws and orders at the void it they are against the spirit of the constitution. Now students, we talk about fundamental rights. Our constitution gives us some fundamental rights. First is right to equality, right to freedom, right to against exploitation, right to freedom for religion, culture and educational rights, and right to constitutional remedy. These are the rights we have. यानी कि ये जो rights हैं वो constitution ने हमको दिए हैं, but we have also a duties. हमारे पास duties भी हैं जिन्हें हमें follow करना चाहिए, और ये दोनों समान रूप से चलते हैं. जहां हम राइट्स का यूज कर रहे हैं वहां हमें अपनी ड्यूटीज को भी फॉलो करना चाहिए. फंडामेंटल राइट्स एंड ड्यूटी फॉर और ऑल ओवर डेवलपमेंट ऑफ द सिटीजन्स. फंडामेंटल राइट्स आर एसेंशियल. देयर इज प्रोविजन ऑफ फंडामेंटल राइट्स फॉर द सिटीजन्स in case they are violent. A citizen has to right to approach the High Court or Supreme Court during the period of emergency. These fundamental rights can be supported. The provision of fundamental duties of the citizens was added in the Constitution by the Amendment 42 in the Constitution 1976. The fundamental duties have been specified in the constitutions. That's mean कि कुछ फंडामेंटल ड्यूटीज भी इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन हमारे की है. यानी कि जो इंडियन सिटीजन्स हैं उन लोगों के लिए कुछ फंडामेंटल ड्यूटीज हैं जिन्हें उन्हें फॉलो करना चाहिए. It shall be the duty of the every citizen of India to follow the fundamental duties. Fundamental duties. It shall be the duty of every citizen of India. Some fundamental duties are to Constitution, respect and its ideas and institutions, the national flag and the national anthem. यानी कि हमें नेशनल एंथम, नेशनल फ्लैग इन सबका सम्मान करना चाहिए. To follow the noble ideas which inspired by the national strength for freedom. यानी कि हमें उन आइडियाज को या नेशनल स्ट्रेंथ को बढ़ाने वाले जो आइडियाज हैं, जो स्लोगन्स हैं, उनको हमको बढ़ाना चाहिए, रिस्पेक्ट करना चाहिए. To uphold and protect the sovereignty, unity and integrity of India. इंडिया की जो यूनिटी है, समानता है, उस सबको हमें बरकरार रखना चाहिए. To defend the country and national services will call upon to do so. To protect our national harmony and spirit of common brotherhood almost of all the people of India. To value and respect the rich heritage of our country and culture, to protect and improve the natural environment including lakes, forests, rivers and wildlife, and have a vision for the living centers. To develop the scientific temper in humanism and the spirit of the unity and the freedom. Who is a parent or guardian to provide the opportunities for election to his child, और aware about कि वो उनका बच्चा जो है वो स्टडीज ले, यानी कि उसको शिक्षा का अधिकार मिले. Now students, we talk about directive principles of the state. In the fourth part of the constitution, fundamental principles of governments have been decided. These are known as the directive principles. The principles are guidelines of the political, social and economic programs for modern democracy. Principles cannot be directed by any court. It's not directed by any court. It's just a guideline for states कि how they govern, कैसे उन्हें सरकार चलानी चाहिए और कैसे ह्यूमन वेलफेयर के लिए वर्क करना चाहिए. ये गाइडलाइंस उसमें दे दी जाती है और स्टेट या कंट्री उसको फॉलो करके अपने गवर्नमेंट्स को या अपने काम को आगे चला सकती है. बट दे आर नॉट फंडामेंटल इन द गुड गवर्नमेंट्स फॉर द कंट्री. directive principles and has been made to shape a welfare of state in the East India. Now students, universal adult franchise. यूनिवर्सल एडल्ट फ्रेंचाइज मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट इन डेमोक्रेसी, क्योंकि डेमोक्रेसी में यदि ये ना हो तो फिर डेमोक्रेसी का कोई मतलब ही नहीं है. द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन हैज गिवन द राइट टू वोट टू ऑल द एडल्ट सिटीजन्स. बाय एडल्ट फ्रेंचाइज दिस मीन द एवरी एडल्ट सिटीजन ऑफ इंडिया हैज अ राइट टू वोट ऑन द एज ऑफ 18. यानी कि 18 अगर उसकी एज 18 है, वो 18 साल की आयु में है, तो वो वोट देने का अधिकार रखता है. In the constitution, these rights is given all the citizens who attain the age of 18 years, respective of their religions, race, caste and sex or place of the birth. यानी कि वो किसी भी धर्म, जाति या संप्रदाय को बिलोंग करता हो, उसे वोट देने का पूरा अधिकार है. Now students, we are going to talk about the single citizenship. What is single citizenship? So in India, Constitution has adopted the principle of the single citizenship. He and she is a citizen of India, representative of his and her place of residence in the India. These person living in Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Haryana, Punjab and etc. are not citizen of that state but of India. यानी कि कोई भी व्यक्ति चाहे किसी भी प्रांत में रहता हो, वो उसी राज्य का नागरिक नहीं है, वो पूरे भारत का नागरिक होता है. द सिटीजन्स ऑफ इंडिया कैन speak employment and where in the country and enjoy some rights anywhere within the Indian territory. यानी कि वो उसके पास राइट्स है कि वो किसी भी राज्य में जाकर रह सकता है, अपना व्यापार व्यवसाय कर सकता है और अपने वोट का अधिकार कर सकता है. ये सब राइट्स को होते हैं कि वो कहीं भी जाकर रोजगार प्राप्त कर सके. द फ्रेमर्स ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन वेर अवेयर ऑफ द फर्स्ट दैट द लाइफ ऑफ द पीपल ऑफ अ कंट्री इज क्लोजली एसोसिएटेड विद द कल्चर एंड द रिच हेरिटेज ऑफ द कंट्री. The identity of a country is not on the basis of political organization but on the basis of the culture, tradition and beliefs of the feeling of nationality. यानी कि हमारे जो फ्रेमर्स थे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को, उनको पता था कि जो भारत देश है वो केवल और केवल सिर्फ उसकी इकोनॉमिक या पॉलिटिकल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के लिए ही जाना जाता है. हमारा भारत जो है वो अपने कल्चरल ट्रेडिशंस, हमारी विचारधारा और हमारी जो नेशनलिटी की फीलिंग है, राष्ट्रीयता, उसके आधार पर जाना जाता है. हम सब एक हैं. यानी कि यहाँ पर आपको बहुत सारी डाइवर्सिटीज दिखाई देगी, पर उसके बाद भी आपको यहाँ पर विविधता में एकता दिखाई देगी. सो स्टूडेंट्स, आवर इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन इज नॉट अ पॉलिटिकल डॉक्यूमेंट बट मच मोर देन दैट. यानी कि वो उससे कहीं आगे है. वो सिर्फ एक डॉक्यूमेंट नहीं है. इट ऑब्टेन्स द कल्चर एंड रिलीजन वैल्यूज ऑफ इट. In the manuscript of the Constitution, the nice cultural and religious heritage of the country has been adopted for the representatives pictures. यानी कि जो इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन है उसमें आपको डिफरेंट टाइप्स के पिक्चर्स दिखेगी जो कि नेशनल स्ट्रेंथ को और हमारे रिलीजियस और कल्चर्स को डिफाइन करती है. बिकॉज ऑफ दीज पिक्चर्स डिस्क्राइब द ट्रेडिशंस फॉर Mohenjo-daro and Vedic period to the period of the freedom movement. These pictures are of Mohenjo-daro's period. The Lord Rama returning with the Sita in the Pushpak Vimana after the victory of Lanka, presiding of the Gita by the Sri Krishna to Arjun, Lord Buddha, Mahavir Swami, Akbar in the court, the background with the Mughal architecture, Shivaji, Guru Gobind Singh, Tej Bahadur and Tipu Sultan, and the historical Dandi march by the Gandhiji and the Himalayas and the Indian Ocean, etc.